Okay, what up, ladies and gents? It's your favorite Asian robot right here. Alright, we're gonna start things off, but, well, it's Monday, so, you know what? Have something heavy. While I get prepared, yeah?
Stretches fast and deep. A solemn promise I cannot keep. I breathe the quiet. The fear is my air. Alone in the echo beyond repair. I let the current pull me down. No crown to wear, just dirt to drown.
Hey, Austin. Alba.
I touch the sun, but the path of ruin is the only one I run. Is wide. I walk back in. I chose the trauma. I chose the sin. Because of the undeserving. A broken path I keep conserving. I am the failure. I am the stain. Worthy only of this crushing pain. Because of the undeserving.
Alright. Thanks for listening to my heavy stuff. We've tweeted, we've done everything. Welcome, everybody. Today is a simple day. All we're gonna do is just make sure that we farm the swords. So that is what will happen today. Greetings to everybody. I hope you guys will enjoy the show today. Yeah. Hope you're all having a good day in general. Let's go see.
You'll need to pay.
Ah, yes. My second sword, finally. I believe my second Manus will be on the way as well. I haven't played since Saturday because obviously busy with other stuff, but still looking forward to it. Do I have my other Manus yet? Odd that I don't. Well, I'll put those in. I will test them for myself to determine whether or not they are awful. As I always say, I don't believe in the work of others. I believe only in myself and what I see through my own two eyes. The only advancement in having a higher level sword, though, is the special attack gauge being consumed when used. So, it doesn't actually affect the damage. So, I mean, I'll have to advance it all the way first, but so far it doesn't seem like it's going to change much. Still, that's fine, I guess. We will adjust because this is what we're going to do anyway. So, now, there's a reason I didn't drop the Gley build yet. It's because I actually had something I wanted to do with said Gley build. Hey, Lewis, the one. And that is actually, I wanted to retest because you don't really hit weak points. For those of you that know, you don't really get to hit weak points often enough on the normal loadout. So I'm just wondering, should I go crit in place of the... Oh wait, no, crit competes with multi... Ah, okay, so I don't need that. And let's ignore this. I'll just put this back as testing again. Okay, so no, this is the finalized build. I was thinking about crits today and I hadn't really tested them, but then I just remembered having a look at it again. We're not competing with weak points anyway because there's no way to include them in what you want. Okay, I'll probably drop the build for Gley tomorrow then. Haven't tested it yet, the one. Ask me about it when there's a stream that says testing the swords live. We're still farming. Greetings, Leo. How is the lion today? But yeah, we will go back on the sword grind as per normal. Alright. Okie dokie day. It's not Colossus time yet, right? Okay. Let's get going. She can clear this fast anyway, so it's not a problem. Actually, that's right. I should probably, after this, test with more multi-hit damage. If I can choose to essentially ignore the healing that I get from the inversion in favor of just going in for more damage. Let's see how that works.
It's all over.
But yes, I hope everyone's having a good day today. Hope you're all good, yeah? As for the swords taking their place, there is no place for the swords. If you ask me honestly, right, unless the swords are gonna do something faster than the restored relic, they have no place in farming, which means their only hope is single target damage, which they might be able to handle. But in that case, it's probably gonna be down to the Manus rather than the Shadow. But I want to do both because there's no other grind for me anyway, and I may as well check. Greetings, Chosen One. DPS is completely irrelevant. I mean, look, I just go in here and DPS is 3 million, so DPS is completely irrelevant because DPS is only a representation of how much work can get done by the weapon. It never finalizes results, nor does it serve as a useful guide. So that's why I prefer physical testing, and I will do physical testing eventually, you know, once I have everything together. But at the end of the day, it's up to you what you want to believe, you know? If you believe and think that the testing done by others or that the builds done by others are suitable for you, then by all means, you can follow that. If you are a robot believer, then you can wait till I'm done with my own stuff, and then I will happily showcase it. My day is normal today, Viper. Can't complain too much. Actually, I should just probably stand further back here. There's no reason for me to actually step into the room until the second phase, if I think about it. Grab. The one thing which I'll kind of miss from Borderlands, and that I think they should have here, is the forward momentum when you hop off your bike. Like, it would just make so much more sense if we did a smooth dismount, you know, kind of dealio. I think that'd be a lot cooler. Because right now we dismount at the location, which of course helps several descendants, and you know, it'd be a shame to take that away, but it would be nice if there was like more solid forward momentum. I think that'd be pretty cool. actually. Almost restarted without picking a reward. But, got it at the end. Okay. We got 4 minutes, easy peasy. Run that, hit wall crasher, then come and run again. Muscle memory of pressing the wrong button. When you literally know, because of playing other games, my muscle memory sometimes goes sideways. Good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Nothing wrong with that, my man. Play when you want to play. I just stick around for the TFD community, but, you know, the so-called big boy that everybody always talks about, he's off playing Borderlands 4 because he's a Borderlands 4 partner before anything else, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. That was and always will be his main game. Just like me, I'm seeking another main game so that I can, you know, have something else with TFD. In the meantime, I cover some of the other games like Dark Tide and all that, so nothing wrong with that. There'll be some people that'll still bow and hope that Dark Tide can be their main game, but considering how botched this season was and, you know, the way that people feel about this current farm, I don't foresee them surviving for a little bit. Like, they won't be able to play with the big boys for quite a while. Like, I'll definitely keep my place here because, look, there's no reason me giving up my spot or, you know, letting somebody else take it. Not letting that happen again because we all remember what happened last time, but by that same token, you know, I'm not going to put in like 200% effort. Like, there's no reason for me to play all day, every day like I used to. You know, I welcome my top supporters, as always, to join me anytime they wish to for farming. But ultimately, you know, there isn't very much for us to do, just farm. That's all we can do. Okay, perfect timing. Hey, Manus Blueprint, sweet. That's the good stuff. Now I can probably focus on the shadow for a bit. Alright, let's go kick Wall Crasher's ass. Well, at least several characters can use this weapon as well, not just Gley, thankfully. But I can agree that she is pretty darn funny. Okay, now where is my... Ah, there we are. Let's go. Let's go roll around and poke things. By the way, one of you in chat, give me a quick reminder. What are we using on Serena's reactor? Do we use cooldown duration, or are we using cooldown and, what do you call it? Dimension skill power boost.
It's time to dance. Get a real feel for it.
CD duration, okay. Makes sense to me. No!
Bastard! Dead soon at this rate. Help!
Unlucky. But I don't care. Back!
Let this show begin.
Thanks for the reminder. Appreciate y'all. Damn. I did not do good that run. 1 billion damage only. Could have done 1.2. If I didn't die. But I died it. Well. Okay, looks like we got roughly everything. I don't think I'm missing anything. Alright, back we go. I will set my filters. And it's time to refarm a good one. Might actually already have one. I'll double check, actually. I probably should. Computer, don't protest. How dare you? The health doesn't change. At least to the best of my knowledge, the health does not... Oh, yeah, actually, maybe it does scale. I can't remember. Was it 4.6? 4.8? It's either 4.6 or 4.8. Farming any of the swords is extremely extended, Mr. Shane. That's why nobody's liking the sword farm. Everybody knows that it's just them trying to hold our attention for longer. Which, as we all know, is not good. As I've said before, this is a terrible, terrible decision. But they have made their decision. This is the Nexon decision. So yeah, it's not just terribly extended. It's the most extended thing I've ever seen. And it's a bad idea. But, well, you can't stop bad ideas. Also, there's like this weird slimy thing here. Hold on. What the hell? Oh, okay, sorry. I was wondering, what is this weird slimy thing that was getting on my hands. And no dirty jokes there, but it was actually this glue that I had on this microphone stand, like from the wrapping, and I forgot to remove it, and it had just melted. So give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Yes, unfortunately, you're not wrong about the the sorry state of the sword farm. I've not seen a farm this bad. Sorry, 1 second. Where the hell is this even coming from? I literally removed all of it and it's still being all glonky. What the hell? Sorry, fam. I hope the rubber is not melting. Because it's not good if it is. I don't think it is, but Singapore weather is hot, so you never know sometimes. 1 second. Sorry about the delay and thank you for your patience. It was really unexpected. Okie dokie. Let me go check on whether or not I can make another Manus. On an average day, it can be anywhere between 30 to 40. But sometimes it does dip below 30, but we're equatorial, so we roughly have that. That's why my computer needs 10 fans, and I'm always streaming in the air conditioning. Because if I don't, then things get rough. They get rough and tough. Okay, so I'm cooking these. I'm ready to cook my third shadow, which is fine. I need another nano tube. So nano tube it is. Let me remove this since it's not too deep. And we'll just go get ourselves a nanotube. Boop. That'll be the Toid sword. Now, in terms of materials, for the shadow, okay, we're good to go, but we probably need more ultrafine particles, which is fine. I'm not up to my third Manus yet, but I'm pretty close, so I need the Manus blueprint, and I should have a third Manus as well. Good. Then we are ready. Oh, that's right. Set the filters. Cooldown and duration. And I won't worry about the rest for now. Apply. Let me just double check. Do I already? Oh, I already have one. Okay, then. Oh, wait, no, this is the wrong one. It has to be this one, right? Okay, no worries. I can get one. Not a big problem. I am, however. Oh, wait. That one's already been upgraded. Otherwise, I would have just deleted it. Ah, well. I'll worry about it later. Okay. We're good. Did I see an unupgraded one with fire skill power? Ew. Gone. Okay. Let's go. Now we roll. There's only one place you can get it. It's only in the Sigma sector. So, you have no choice, brother. If there was anywhere else to get it, I'd tell you, but much like several of the other grinds in this game, you must suffer. If there was some other way, I'd tell you for sure. Because I know many people want the sets for like Jaber, Luna, all that kind of stuff, but yeah. This is why recently it's been harder and harder to keep up the positive vibes to this game. Because, quite frankly, people, they don't want to spend all their time grinding. It is a matter of course, and even if we want to say like, oh, the new generation of gamers, they don't have the gumption to stick it out and tough it out. The fact of the matter is, I always tell all the older school gamers, look, yes, I understand that gaming was different back in the day, but life is also different now. People have a bajillion things to do. We want to do something, feel accomplished, then move on to the next task. Attention spans are shorter, but that's just the reality of life now, and devs have to accommodate. It's why games like Shape of Dreams or Mega Bonk, which I played also this morning, it's why they're so successful. It's because within a 10-20 minute span, they make you feel accomplished. They make you feel like you've achieved something within that time, and you can move on and feel satisfied. You can also pick up and play at a later time and not feel like you're too far behind. You know, like I can still be an ad carry when playing with my younger brother in BVS. So, due to this, a lot of the grinds in this game have felt boring, for lack of a better word. They've become boring, not because the grind is bad or gamers bad or things like that. It's just that, look, everybody is measuring the worth of their time in the hours that they have to game, right? So you're looking at people with 2-3 hours a day, you know, and this is a very, very good. I know many of you, you know, who might have jobs or lives have less than that. You know, although you might be able to watch me at work, you yourself might not have a lot of playtime. Granted, by watching me, you have an idea of exactly what to do, so you can sort of like go ahead and just do it. But for a lot of people, gaming time is limited, so they want to feel accomplished as quickly as possible. For the hardcores, they don't mind because they've got hours to burn, but most of us don't. I spent a lot of today writing music because, let's just say I had a lot of stuff to get off of my chest. So I wrote some really heavy songs, well, personally heavy songs, not heavy as in the music is heavy. I mean, the music is heavy. I think Baron will probably enjoy it, knowing how much he likes the heavy stuff, but I had to write some stuff to get some stuff off my chest. So people don't have a lot of time. You know, we've got a billion different activities that we want to do. And when the game becomes too much of a chore, or I feel like I'm not making enough progress, it stops me from wanting to play more. You know, I do this as a job, so right now this is my biggest money maker. So, and look, people can paint me in a negative light for saying so, but I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm just here for the money. That's the only thing that keeps me here. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't bother. You know, so that's reality. And as much as I dislike the fact that it is reality, this is how it is, you know. It's not just that, the one. Even if they're not a day one player, you have to think about how new players feel entering this game. A lot of them, they say, yeah, this game is great at first. Then once they realize that their progression slows down around Sigma Sector with arcade tuning and things like that, they will ask themselves whether they want to stay. And I think that that's why we have a player retention problem. Hello, Lily. I actually remember Lily from Heroes of the Storm. I think she was a World of Warcraft character. She's a little Pandaren. So when your name is Lily, I think of that. She used to be such a good healer in Heroes of the Storm. I used to main her all the way till Diamond rank. I was pretty good. nanotube. Here we go. Let's aim for the... Oh my god, wrong thing. Sad. Here I am aiming for the nanotube, and the game just doesn't want to give it to me. Rude. Hello, Vel of the Carda. Now, let's just double check these. Okay, they're about ready for their next catalyst, which we will insert. I'm putting in the catalyst early so that I have less to do once the swords are fully ready. But yeah, unfortunately, the grind is not great. I can understand that feeling because the arcade grind is a stable grind. It's a progressive grind. No matter what you do, you'll make progress. Fair. But I'm just saying in general, a lot of people, once they get to the heavy grind part, they sort of fall off. And it's funny because the same people will play games like Path of Exile 2, which has 3 times more grind than this. But I think the difference is that in Path of Exile 2, or several of the other action RPGs like even Diablo 4, the grind feels to the player rewarding. They're doing the same grind every season, but they feel like they're being rewarded for their time. And that makes a hell of a difference in the perception of the game. Because here, the question we all have to ask is that after this massive grind, are the swords going to be good? That's why so many people have asked, are the swords going to be good? I have no answer for them. Because here we test things very scientifically. So I can't give them an early answer or a theory-crafted answer. No. There is nothing they can do to make it better. And that is a fact. You might say, wait, hold on. How is that a fact? Surely there's always something that can be done. Yes and no. There's always something that can be done if your game fits it. There is no way they can... because they've already gone hard and fast down this path. There is no way they can fix this. Like I mentioned in my video about players getting bored, they need to commit. They're going to lose half the player base either way. So they have to commit. Are they going to turn this into a Gunner game? Or are they turning this into a serious looter shooter? If they want to turn it into a serious looter shooter, they need to make sure that there's a gratifying grind. Whether it be by introducing legendary loot that you can only obtain by grinding, there needs to be a dopamine hit. Ask yourselves, for those of you that played the Borderlands series, what makes Borderlands the most fun? It's finding some crazy-ass weapon. Like, when I was playing Borderlands 4 and getting through the story, now the story was fantastic, FYI. I can't wait to go back and play the Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. But playing through the story, it felt amazing. For one simple reason, I really liked the idea of being able to get some legendary that just, you know, made your build feel worth it. It made your time feel worth it. Like, that was a lot of fun. I have no idea who you are, Jay, but welcome back. And Ghost Gambino, as I mentioned in the other videos about Void Vessel, you can pop any shields, the yellow shields or the blue shields, by using Veil Analyzer. Veil Analyzer causes you to deal bonus damage to arcade shields, which can be very useful on any type of arcade shield. It doesn't matter which kind, so you don't always need to have skill damage. Now, this is already covered in several of my videos. If you haven't already seen it, I highly encourage you to watch it. While Lily has given you the simple answer, it is best that you check for yourself so that you understand how it's utilized in builds. Alright? I recommend this. Unfortunately, as much as I hate saying it, this is a game where you have to do actual homework. Which also is a major turnoff for a lot of the newer players who come by. Which I do feel sad about, but at the same time, I guess in a twisted way, it gives me content to make. So, bit of a catch-22 there. With all due respect, guys, I have nothing and no comment on video, so I'm gonna refrain from that discussion. All right, I'm here to stream TFD. We should keep the conversation mostly focused there, where possible, but not about the state of other games, because either way, I can't comment on it. My sound volume is low? I don't know, dude, because my sound volume is pretty damn high. I think you can hear on this stream at least, you can hear the clear difference between my microphone versus the game sounds, dudes. So usually if you think my sound volume is low, several others have mentioned this issue, but the fact of the matter is I've played it on my phone. There is no such thing as sound volume low. You don't want me blasting out your ears, and if you listen to me on a mobile device or any other device, my sound volume is pretty darn high. We can prove it pretty easily, too. Not wrong about the sorry state of the... This is, like, literally the recording. Hopefully have that. Of my own stuff. Needs 10 fans, and I'm always streaming in the air conditioning. Because if I don't, then things get rough. You can actually hear me, my own stream, over the game sounds that I have right now. And of course, I'm talking even louder than that. So, not sure why the sound volume is low or anything. Yeah. So if anybody who has the sort of low sound issue, most of the time, the issue is on your end. You have to look at your own sound settings and what you're doing. Because my sound is no different to any other YouTube video out there. And as a professional YouTuber, I know that because I always compare. So, I know the volume is good, chat, don't worry. But, yeah, for anyone that is experiencing low sound, problem is entirely on your end. Not trying to be mean, but I think you have adjusted certain settings that you don't even realize you've adjusted. It could also be that other YouTubers, being less professional, they don't use proper sound filters or settings, but I use professional, like, music recording levels of sound. Mostly because I'm doing music pretty often, so... Not with Gley, no. I'm going to start with Ultimate Luna, and then I'll work around from Ultimate Luna onwards to find out what is the best way. But I have no intention of taking them on right now. That is very unfortunate, but unfortunately, RNG can sometimes work in that way. Did you make sure to set a target reward? Use the target reward system and you should have your dog piece.
I smell death.
It may take a while, but yes. South Goblin, same question somebody else asked. Did you guys not watch my Void Vessel video? There's a mod called Veil Analyzer, which explains to you guys how you can do this with weapons. There's a video called How to Clear the Void Vessel Without Voltia. That video is something that everybody should have already known about and watched because it was posted several months ago. That video explains the mod Veil Analyzer, which was introduced into the game, to combat the fact that several people wanted to do Void Vessels with Gley or with guns only, and they felt upset that they, you know, couldn't do it that way. Or that they had no Voltia to handle the situation. So TFD devs gave them Veil Analyzer. That's okay, I do have hundreds of videos, so I don't blame y'all for forgetting. But if you dig deep enough, there's a video for everything. Usually. This is because when stuff comes out in the game, I often make a video about it so I can help the people. Long story short, there's almost always a video teaching you something. Which is, as I mentioned, the downside to TFD. The game requires homework, which I think is a further turnoff that is putting them people off from actually enjoying the game. Gone are the days of overly complex gaming. Funnily enough, I actually spoke to some devs about this the other day. All right, it was a very interesting thing. But a lot of devs, like, there are these devs that asked me to try a remake of a complex older game. Now, this game was released around the 1990s, late 1990s, close to 2000s, but it was so complex for its time. It had a cult following, but it wasn't popular because it was one of the mainstream games. So they were making a remake, they asked me to try it. I played for 10 minutes, and I couldn't stand it. My feedback straight to the devs was that it would be absolutely unsuccessful. They essentially gave me the middle finger, now this was a while back, and told me that I was unprofessional with my work, since I'd only played for 10 minutes. Guess what happened to the launch of their game? You wouldn't know the game because nobody's even heard about it, because the launch went so badly, I don't think they even sold 1,000 copies. They later came back to me asking me if I would stream the game. For a fee, of course. I told them my fee would be $5,000 per stream. Of course, they never heard back, but that was what I was going to charge them to play a game where I was going to have essentially only my regulars and maybe one viewer who was interested in such a poor game from the past. Now, some of you may view my actions as cruel. I don't really care whether you do or do not, because I've never cared what people think. But this is the exact problem that the state of gaming is in today. Because when you make things too complex, people don't want to dive into all that complexity. People don't want to dive into all of this or feel like they have to make this a part of their lives. They want to be able to play, enjoy, you know, and then put it down or, you know, do something else. And do something else means not playing another game, but rather they want to be able to do something else in their life. And this, I think, is very important. Gone are the days of, you know, like super complex raids and stuff. Nobody's got time for that. Nobody's got the guilds or clans for that, and nobody's got the friends for that anymore. Some of the times when I say, oh, well, this game is fun with friends, people say, like, I have no friends, you know. Of course, I'll roast and cook them a little bit as part of my show, but a lot of people these days are very lonely. Don't have a lot of friends or people to game with. It's tough. And understandable. And even if you do have friends to game with, aligning your schedules is a nightmare because everyone's working different types of jobs. So things can get pretty tough for the average gamer these days. Which is why I have been an advocate for time-saving games or games that don't pressure you to spend your lifetime playing. And of course, less complexity is better. I do appreciate having a lot of systems to power up, but they need to be relatively straightforward and simple, in my personal opinion. If they are, then maybe that can help people. And again, I'll highlight it. This is why Shape of Dreams has been a lot of fun for people. It's simple, straightforward, easy to understand, roguelike fun, and there's still enough complexity that building builds is awesome. I can completely understand that. Hey, Gabak. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. Alright, I really appreciate the super chat. Let me know what kind of music you want. If you have anything in mind, let me know. I also have some new very heavy material if you'd like to sample that. But other than that, yeah, you can let me know what you want, brother. North stuff, you got it. I will deliver. Happily. Let me finish with this run, and I'll play you some of my Viking music. I'm glad you like it, though. That's really, really good. Okay, just the one. And also, as you guys can see, we have some new waifu products with our partner ADP. If you guys are lonely, alright, make sure to check out Anime Dakimakura Pillows. They've got plenty of products you can check out, and I've got a discount code for 10% off your entire order. Have fun. I understood what you meant. Thanks for posting up the link, Austin. Listen, any kind of system would be good, Shane. Like I said, right now, people are just not having a great time. Nizar, not only do they not pay me enough, but the other thing is that the entire game became very pay to win. So I stopped supporting them completely. I told the devs point blank as well that if they want me to work, they need to pay me fairly. Because, like I said, if Raid Shadow Legends is going to pay me $500 per stream, they don't have to match that fee, but I'm gonna need some actual pay. Same, Austin. It is pretty tough, yeah. In fact, even TFD doesn't pay me enough, but I'm here because I don't have any better opportunities right now. And this game still earns me a fair amount of cash, so I'm relaxed. I'll keep playing for the community and for the people. Yeah, there's another resource box. I think I'm gonna have to end up going for like the target reward on the nanotube again. But I guess it does give me a bit of time to build up this, because I do need like another 100 here. Oh, I actually do have the 100. I just need the blueprint. I can understand it being a major turnoff, my friend, because it is the exact same way for me. I feel a distinct lack of motivation, in my personal opinion. Anyway, let's start putting on some Viking music. Yeah, the shake can be difficult for a lot of people. I'm so used to it that it doesn't bother me. I understand, Emmanuel. It can be tough. I feel motion sick in cars, so I understand your pain. Unless I'm driving the car, it's very difficult for me to sit in vehicles. The same vision that helps me in video games is a bit of a curse when I'm trying to drive, or rather when I'm trying to sit in vehicles. When I'm driving, it's okay. Thanks. I do work hard on my music. It is my passion, after all. Yeah. If it was a safe and reputable skydiving industry, then yeah, I would. I do not fear these things. I fear for my safety. That's all. If they could assure me it was safe, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I don't mind committing to these types of actions, but I do have to consider the fact that right now I'm the only one taking care of my parents, so yeah, I can't take risks like that normally, but I don't feel incapable. Hello, Bone Collector. I mean, so for those of you that know, guardsmen are the equivalent of Marines in Singapore, so we repel from helicopters and things like that, so I'm not afraid of that kind of stuff. Dance with your wife. Nothing wrong with that. Now here's a bonus for Gabak, alright? Thanks for being the first super chat today. Nice, John. How do you skydive indoor? That's wild. Oh, okay. You mean like with one of those big fans? Oh, cool. I'd like to try that, but I want to do the real thing too, if it was ever totally safe. Ah, nice. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's pretty sick, guys. Nice. famous and have money, and I come to the US, I'll definitely try that. Indoor stuff. I don't think it's lame. I think that's pretty cool. Maybe Kaz will go. Yeah. That might be fun. You can, it's better to farm on hard. Never farm anything on normal.
I smell.
Always hard. Always hard all the time, okay? Remember that. If you're a man, you must stay hard all the time, okay? This is the law of being a man. A man does not go soft. Stays hard, okay? Sounds epic as hell, Lewis. Hot air balloon, though, might not suit me well. And it's not painful for the eyes at all. Just turn off explosions, dude. As you can see, there's no explosions on my screen, so how is it painful? All you gotta do is just fire in the general direction of the enemy and you're all good. Don't look at the screen. I look at my chat. Yeah, see, you guys all understand me. A good man stays hard, okay? And John, your jump master is right. You're pretty hardcore. It's not so much about the death rate. It's the possibility of death when you have a lot to live for, Austin. So I have a lot of shit that I need to do, so I don't usually do activities like that. While I don't mind the adrenaline, and I can certainly, you know, count myself a bit of an adrenaline junkie, I always have to concern myself with safety. And the fact that, oh dear, I opened the wrong box, damn it, what a waste. What a waste of a key. I do have to consider the possibility of my death. The other launchers are weaker, so I mean you can use the exterminator if you want, but it's a lot weaker. So the choice is yours, but I wouldn't bother using it. You're basically just getting a poor man's restored relic. Yeah, the restored relic's the best. You can still use the exterminator because a lot of people don't like the camera shaking, but it's a lot weaker. Here, I'll show you a comparison because I've got the time anyway. Think of it this way: even if the death rate is 1%, right? Do you remember during COVID times, Austin, when they said like the death rate was 1%, and you know people were treating it like it was, sorry, the death rate was 2%, and people were treating it like it's very serious? This is because 2% of say 1 million is that's 20,000. So if you have 1 million people skydiving at a death rate of 2%, right? Just some quick calculations will show you that this quickly balloons very, very fast. If you had 10 million people skydiving, that death rate goes up to 200,000 people dying. So a death rate of 2% is like literally unacceptable. You get what I mean? So yeah, there can be a lot of concerns about that. Hence why mortality rate can be misleading. It's only a 2% chance that you die, but considering how many people are doing it every day and every second, those numbers can rack up pretty crazy. Thankfully, the death rate is lower than 2%, but still, there is a risk. That's why numbers and statistics can be very misleading if you want them to be. You can make something sound better, or a hell of a lot worse. And of course, the news media will always skew the numbers in their favor. In case you guys did not know this, try listening to the news and think of this little trick next time. Think about how it sounds when I say, okay, there's a disease going around and 100,000 people have died from this disease. what if I also tell you that there's a disease going around and only 5% of people have died from the disease? Which sounds better? 5% of people died or 100,000 people died from the disease? But if you take a look at population, 5% could well be like 500,000, 600,000, you know? But 5% sounds a hell of a lot lower than 100,000 people died from this disease, right? Yeah? So think about that, because don't forget, this is a very simple technique that the news media will always use, or that any government or any organization will use to try and ensure that they paint the picture in the best light for you. All right? So think about that for a second. Yep, exactly. Okay. I can't remember when his event comes in, but aren't I supposed to be able to exchange my shit? Anyway. Okay, where is the Exterminator? That piece of shit. The Exterminator has literally the exact same build as the Restored Relic anyway. Alright? So you can roll something like this, which, like I said, is exactly the same as what you get on the Restored Relic. And the only difference would be that you swap this for Veil Analyzer. So, Veil Analyzer. Put that here, put this here. And there you go. Now you got Veil Analyzer on this thing. We don't worry about anything else. Just the multi-hit and whatnot. And since, I mean, you can hit heads with this, but there's no real point in sweating about it. So, exact same build, essentially, because these two weapons are built in the same way. And that is why there is a risk. You can count on John's actual experience there. I'll tell you what. Yes, a lot of people freeze up when they're faced with an emergency situation. I myself do. I'm somebody that's very comfortable when I know what's going on. I'm more of a strategist than a warrior. So I do freeze up, and I recognize that about myself. So it's one of the things that I have noticed that causes me personally problems. As you can see, it's much slower than the Restored Relic because the explosion radius is much slower as well. So no matter what you do with this, right, you have no camera shake, but you will struggle quite a bit. That is just me being honest. So you can sort of go through with Gley, but your clear time is very much slower. Well, my build for this is already released, but like I said, I don't recommend it. You can follow my build for the Exterminator. It's the exact same build as Restored Relic. I've posted it on my channel since the start of Season 3. But, again, I do not recommend it. You ain't wrong about that, Cartabel. See, Restored Relic, I can wipe the whole room. But this one, I have to kill the elites one by one. So your overall clear time, way, way slower. In which case, you may as well play with several of the other characters, like Ultimate Luna, or even Jaber. Ooh, fell off the map. Jaber, or anything else like that, yeah. Well, do it, Austin. There's no stopping you when you are determined to do so. Just make sure you're not doing it to An Hero, okay? As long as you're not doing it to actually An Hero, you'll be fine. If you're doing it to An Hero because you're in that, you know, crazy mode, then, you might want to rethink that. Wouldn't want to lose my slightly depressing pal. But I'm sure you'll be fine. But honestly, if you want to go for it, go for it. It's no better time when you're young. Just be aware of the risks. Think for yourself. And you know you want to do it, do it. Yes. Nothing wrong with that, brother. For me, I'll tell you, you know what sounds fun for me? One day, when I'm like a much bigger streamer, making lots of money, I want to hire a blacksmith to build me weapons from games. And I want to just try and, you know, I want to have my own dojo where I can just try and mess around with it. That's what I want to do. That's what I will do. That's what I think would be fun when I'm a crazy rich evil dude. And finally, I will also sacrifice everyone to kill. I'm joking, but that's one thing I want to do. That's what would be fun for me. I want to recreate fantasy melee weapons and play around with them, especially a lot of the stuff with Warhammer 40k, just for fun. Not the chainswords, mind you, but several of the power weapons, sans the fact that mine won't actually be power weapons with disruptor fields, but, you know. Well, you do strike me as somebody that's not too afraid. I bet you'd bump some of that heavy music while diving, Bear. Nothing wrong with having a skill in wood carving, buddy. But I want to get an actual blacksmith to forge me the greatest blades in history. It's going to take a lot of money, but like I said, this is a future plan for when I'm a rich old man. And I've got nothing better to do, I'm going to do that. And then I will also secretly have him forge me a body of the finest metal, so I can finally become a machine. Okay, so this is the Exterminator versus the boss. As you can see, it's a lot slower than the Restored Relic. Alright. You will kill him, but it will take you a while. And unlike the Restored Relic, you can't exactly go through his shields. So you have to think well about this. Again, I really don't recommend it unless you desperately want to for some god-awful reason. But the Restored Relic's explosions are really massive. So because of that, it's very easy to go through shields. But this one is not, so... yeah. You're not in any danger, because Gley won't ever die, but you're so much slower. Brighton, you use the Veil Analyzer module. If you missed my video talking about how to do the Void Vessels without Voltea, it is covered in that because I explained the power and the use of the Veil Analyzer. Okay? This is why it's very important to do your homework and check all my videos. The more of my videos you watch, the stronger you'll be at this game. Here are 2 playlists of my videos. The older stuff is in the first one. The newer stuff is in the second one. Okay? Have fun. So I hope that was enough of a demonstration for you, Emmanuel. But yeah, I wouldn't use the Exterminator. Restored Relic is the best way. And, well, assuming, of course, that you can survive the horrendous screen shake, it is faster. You're welcome, Bryson.
Now what do you want? Go on, I'm waiting.
Where's that last shadow piece? Oh, I already have one in stock. That's right. Because I'm going to craft another one. So next, I will need more ultrafine particles and 1 more blueprint. Because once this is done, the blueprint goes. So next is the blueprint. But we need a Manus next. The Manus is cooking right now. So Manus blueprint and Shadow blueprint. Almost there. Almost there. Okay. Cool. I know what to do. Oh, we're almost done with the sword farm at least, eh? I think it would be better to focus on the tools of your craft, Baron. Well, South Goblins, start praying to RNGesus or sacrifice your friends to the Blood God.
All my senses.
And thus the lion is a craftsman at heart, right? An escape room? That actually sounds like fun. I don't know if I'd be a good teammate though. I'm only decent at video game puzzles because I try everything, and if I fail I reload. I'm not so sure I'd be so good in a physical escape room. But I would love to go to a horror one. because I like being scared. But you know what I really want to do? I want to go ghost hunting. I want you guys to accompany me on a ghost hunt for some of the craziest shit we've ever seen. Okay? I've always admired ghost hunting shows, but I feel like so many of them fake their content. So, me being me, you know, if I ever had the money to travel around the world, I'm gonna recruit you guys and I'm gonna go on a ghost hunt. Me and Kaz have talked about it for a long time. It'd be very interesting. I want to go and see for myself. I'm not worried about that. I can handle it. Some of you may know what my side business is, but that's completely fine. I'm not worried at all. I am not easy. I am not easy to possess or stop. Yes, I do. But let's just say I've got a hell of a lot of willpower. So it is very, very difficult. While I am a scaredy cat, I also have a shit ton of willpower. This is because all my life, I've had terrifying nightmares of spirits and ghosts and things like that. When I got into my 20s, I got so tired of it that whenever... And my dreams are very vivid, by the way. My dreams are extremely vivid and very, very realistic. I still very much recall, because I still have a lot of things like this. If y'all want to hear a spooky dream story, what happened in my dream was that I was in this apartment. It was my own apartment, but it was wrong. Like, you could feel like the whole apartment was wrong. And there were like all these really weird drawings. And I remember there were these 3 ghost girls. And they were just running around, giggling and all that shit. And I was scared. Now, this was in my 20s, right? I was scared, you know? And then they were all approaching me and shit. And then, you know, like, I could tell that they wanted to harm me. But then I said to myself in my dream, I said, why am I letting these things, you know, harm me? No. I'm going to start swinging. I'm going to throw hands. And I punched the spirit. All right? And it connected. And it looked at me. And it looked at me like I had offended it somehow. Like, you know, I wasn't supposed to do that. And it was looking at me like, you're not supposed to do that. And I said, no, that's it. I'm the freaking Punisher right now. So I started punching all the ghosts. And now, whenever I have a nightmare that involves ghosts or whatever, and, you know, the spirits are haunting me and stuff like that, nah, they try and come at me. I will choke slam the shit out of them. I will fight them. I'll start punching. I'll start using kung fu on their asses. All right, I'm gonna put them in a freaking figure 4 leg lock. That's how we do shit around here, all right? So ever since then, I stopped being fearful of possession or you know, having something accompany me or something like that, because it's like, all right, you know what, I'm scared, but if you coming at me, I'm throwing hands. Like, I'm gonna be scared as shit, but, you know, I'm throwing hands. Let's go. If I'm going out, I'm going out like a freaking space marine. All right, so that's the way I do things. Welcome, new subscriber. Listen, all right? I give equal rights and lefts, Emmanuel. If ghosts want to harm me, then I'm throwing hands. Lol, chosen one. Okay, bro, that's a human. You can't do that. That's just dishonorable, man. But nah, this is in my dreams. Like, I've had those sensations in situations where I felt like something was trying to... You ever been laying down in your bed and you have sleep paralysis and you feel like something is trying to pull your soul out of your body? It's happened to me quite a couple of times, but you know what? Whenever they do, I'm like, all right, come at me, bro, and I will resist. I will literally like, I will literally resist it. Like, they can pull my soul, and you'll feel a lot of vertigo. Like, you'll feel like the soul's being pulled out, pushed back, and I'm like, all right, come at me. Then, you know, when the nightmare starts, I'm like, let's go, I'm ready. Like, I can literally feel my body commanding the adrenaline to pump. Like, ever since my 20s, I stopped being scared because, like, well, at least I stopped being scared of nightmares and things. They got no power over me because, you know, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, they do. And you know what? I will literally force my eyes awake. You know how you can't open your eyes and you feel like something's there? No, I force my eyes awake. I'm like, yo, let's go, let's go. You know? And as soon as I can move my body again, then let's go. Let's go. It's on. Damn right. Like, I almost feel like I learned somehow to control how the adrenaline pumps in my body. Because I know it's almost like I give myself a shot of adrenaline, like the way it pumps. Because whenever it happens, like in my youth, in my teens, I used to get so scared. I turned to religion to help me out. But in the end, I realized now I'm still religious, of course. But at the end of the day, I realized that only one that's going to get me through this is me. So I fight back now. Like, I always had those nightmares and terrors and dreams. And the ghost will hunt you. Alright? You think phasmophobia, any of that shit scare you. If I could show you guys some of my dreams, oh, you'd understand the fear. But at the end of the day, man, I just start throwing hands. It happens. I don't care. They can do it, man. They can do it. I've had that before. I've seen full-up Statistical, you know, up in my business, you know, staring at me. And I just start getting real gangster about it. I'm like, all right, you do your thing, but as soon as I can move this hands, I'm popping you. I am popping you. I'm not going down without a fight. You either tear out my throat right now, all right, or I'm fighting back. So they have an option. You kill me now, all right. You kill me now, or we're doing this. You know how in some of those dreams, right? It feels like if the ghost attacks you or touches you, you'll die. Like, that's the fear that they put in you. Like, when they're chasing you through, like, corridors and stuff like that. If you touch me, you'll die. You know what I do in those types of dreams nowadays? I turn right around and charge at the ghost. I don't care. Kill me. Bring it on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go right now. All right? I do that. And ever since I started doing that, they stopped trying that shit with me. You know? Oh, I have no doubt that they're real. But if they want this, all right? If they want this genetic superiority, then they best be ready, because I ain't giving up my body for shit. All right, this is my body. Just like you know what Bobby says in King of the Hill. All right. That's my purse. I don't know you. You can't have it. So you just gotta have that vibe, you know? Because yeah, like, it's happened to me dozens of times when I'm just like really tired, or I'm like spiritually exhausted. You know, they'll try their luck. I'm like, let's go. I still remember one dream, right? At first, like, before you become lucid in the dream, like, you'll be scared first, right? So I remember I was running in a forest away from, I don't know, like some Slender Man shit or whatever. And at first, I was afraid, you know. But then once I became lucid in the dream, and I was like, okay, here's where I'm at. And that thing, I still remember its sick ass smiling face. You know, it was all standing there, and like it had its hands like outstretched, and it was just smiling, you know, like with that uncanny valley shit. And it was like if I touch you, you're gonna die, right? So I turned right around and I ran at it. I will never forget the look of shock on its face, because I hit it, everything went black, and I woke up in my own bed. Yeah. But what you got to understand is that keep in mind that all of this is happening in my dreams. If you want to actually go to a location, then you got to prepare yourself. All right? While I myself can shrug off this kind of stuff, you have to, like, if you're doing it in a team, you got to look out for everybody. You got to make sure everybody's cool, everybody's good. You know, because if anyone is weak-minded or weak-willed, they'll be first to go. All right? And never be alone. Okay? So that's a hard and fast rule that I will always state. Never be alone no matter what the circumstance is. Be respectful when speaking about certain things and all that kind of stuff. All right? And if doing any calling outs or stuff like that, everybody has to be into it together. So yeah, these are some of the personal rules that I've set in, and that I will always obey and follow. Oh no, tempt fate by all means, but do it smartly and don't be an idiot. If you tempt fate the wrong way, then fate is going to tempt you. And most of the time, you're going to end up possessed by a demon. Alright? And unlike the movie, Keanu Reeves is not John Constantine. He can't exorcise the demon from you. Alright? You can't go and get an exorcism from your local church. And even if you go to a very reputable monk, they cannot help you. Okay? It's not so much a spirit of a person that you have to fear. Okay, I'll tell you this much. Take it with a pinch of salt, but do take the advice regardless. You're not worried about the spirit of a human being. And I'll tell you why. Because, and I don't care whether anyone believes me or not, but I'm gonna just say it anyway. The spirit of said human being is already in what we call a second life. They've either reincarnated or they've gone to heaven or hell. They're not hanging around here. Okay? What you are worried about is a spirit. Or a worst case, demon. What's the difference? Okay. First and foremost, you got to understand a bit of mythology, but I'll spare you the long conversation on that. Spirits are a different form, a different incarnation. They began their life as a spirit. They have never been a human. They will try to trick you, but they have never been a human. They are a spirit. Okay? There are many kinds. No need to think about distinctions too much right now, but just take note of that. Now, worse still is a demon. What you Westerners call demons, they have different names in all sorts of languages, but ultimately these are malicious entities. Pure malice. However, what you have to understand is that although they are purely malicious, they are also a reflection of you. They are a reflection of life. For those of you that know Warhammer 40k lore, it's actually a surprisingly accurate explanation. You're talking about the material world, this world, and then the immaterial world, which is the subconscious. So everything that you ever thought about, those negative thoughts, those negative feelings, all of that is given form in the immaterial. Okay, so that is essentially what the situation is. Now, hey, got another nanotube. Sweet! But yes, coming back to the point, when it comes to demons, these are the malicious reflections of all of our negative thoughts, our negative emotions, everything that we think about, that we don't act on because we're human, we've got self-control, but we still do think it. All of you here have felt it before. You've thought something in anger and you told yourself, nope, I'm just angry, calm down, right? Makes sense. We all do that. But you've thought some pretty messed up things at times. Many of you have, right? All of that is what forms what is essentially a demon. It's an oversimplification, but that's what it is. That's why they are known to tempt you, because they are literally tempting you with the dark side of yourself. Now, demons are a lot worse than spirits because they're not a stage of life. While a spirit is living its existence, now if you go into Buddhist lore, it's because it may have some negative karma that it had to clear. So it was not born as a human, it was born as a spirit. It's part of the whole cycle of life. You can go into that in Buddhism if you want. But a demon is not part of that cycle. The demon is the raw, negative reflection. It is the immaterial, dark shadow of us. That is when you have to start worrying, because if you get possessed by a demon, that is not going to end well. Let's just say it that way. There's no exorcism that can save you from that. Okay? Because you cannot remove your own shadow. And once you let the shadow in, the shadow stays in. Okay? So that's why people who don't know shit should not mess around with spiritual things. You gotta educate yourself first. And sure, many people may not believe me. I don't really care whether people do or don't. This is the advice that I have to anyone that wants to attempt any of this kind of stuff. While I myself want to attempt it, I'm very well aware of the risks. And that is why, for anyone that does know, because most priests or whatever, they'll tell you the same thing. Demons always lie. They will never tell you the truth. But again, that is because they cannot tell you the truth. Their only goal as your shadow is to take over you so that they can become real. Like a scary-ass, creepy, non-Disney Pinocchio. So they will always lie. You cannot, and I know that some people in the distant past, I think you'll remember, I think Western religion talks about it a lot, but priests would bind demons to their will to ask them questions. There are like lots of rituals about safely binding demons. You cannot do that. It's impossible. Because like I said, an actual demon, not a spirit. Most of the time, spirits mess around with people. Most of the time, the rituals end up contacting a spirit, not a demon. Demons are something else entirely. You cannot bind yourself. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you cannot safely do any of that. A spirit, fair enough. There are ways, but even then it's a dangerous practice. Demons are something entirely else. I'm just chilling, Selena. I don't really care. Talking about spirituality and demons while I do this boring shit. So, but I also don't play this 24 hours a day. I just play like one stream and that's enough for me. So I'm not too worried about it. I am going to probably have like 3-4 copies soon. So it's not that bad. I'm just chilling and relaxing. Yeah, you're Buddhist as well. Rare. If I recall, you're Spanish, right? Based on your name. Rare to see a Spanish Buddhist. But very interesting. Is it because of your parents, or did you become Buddhist, like, by yourself? Oh, I ran out of keys. Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ. The materials are so bullshit. Oh, my God. Okay, I have no keys. I'm gonna have to speedrun. I see. Interesting. Very rare to meet a fellow Buddhist, though. But anyway, coming back to what I was saying, yes, do not mess around with spirituality. Unless you know what the shit you're doing. And like I said, never play around with demons. Again, mostly because people misunderstand what a demon is. What people think of as demons are usually just spirits. Actual demons, that's the stuff to be feared. Not because they're anything like biblical demons. Because they're a lot scarier than that. Yeah, take your time waiting on the cats to cook. Study, do whatever you need to do. Come on, Manus Blueprint. Fiber. Okay. Hashtag sad. Now I've got to just do some speed runs and build up keys again. I'm gonna put on some music, guys. Y'all want to hear some of my new ultra heavy stuff? Have a listen to some of this shit, alright? Here's version 1, and I'll play version 2 for you after. Let me know which is better.
Mirrors crack, they never lie. A broken mask beneath my eye. This form is cursed, a poison shell. A hollow space where light once fell. The enemy lives in my own skin. I let the fracture blow away. Voices clash in my mind's decay. Tearing sanity day by day. I can't discern the real from fake. A screaming ghost in my way. Scar of a day, born of the wound, dragged to the light forever to death. Scar of a day, my soul's demise, bleeding out through empty eyes. Ring the neck of who I was, forfeit hope without a cause. I am the arson, I am the fire, fueling my own futile pyre. A monument built on rot and rust. Betrayers, trust, turn to dust. Voices crash in my mind's decay. Tearing sanity day by day. I can't discern the real from fake. A screaming ghost in my way.
Hey, Joe?
Scar of the dream, born of the moon, tracked to the light forever doomed. Scared of the dream, soul's demise, bleeding out through empty eyes. I'm your wound, I am the curse. The grave I dig is my only birth. Rise, so far, right. The ghost inside, I cannot force.
And that was my new track, Scarred Effigy. That was version 1. I'll play version 2 in a second. But yeah, I've been working on some new, heavier tracks. This one was very interesting. So, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Well, those of you who enjoy the heavier stuff anyway. Oh, there's more. There is more. But yeah, hi Joe. And look, Selena, for me, when it comes to religion, I just chill and let people do whatever they want to do. I am very much a Buddhism believer, but, you know, I never try and convert anybody because at the end of the day, I feel that in terms of karma, everybody finds what's correct for them. So, you know, if it's meant for you, it'll be meant for you, you know what I'm saying? Typical Monday, huh? In that case, we need some more heavy so that everybody can feel the Monday vibes. Oh, damn, I missed a wall crasher. Shit. Forgot about that. I should have set a timer, but oh well. Now die, foolish creature! Yes, let Gley tank every single hit. Because she doesn't care. Her damage is too damn high to care. Okay, come on. Deus Ex Manus. Where is my Manus? But let's see if I can get a shadow, because the shadow one was better. Oh, boo. Alright. Now, here is version 2 of Scarred Effigy. Alright. Earlier, you heard version 1. Now I'm going to let you hear version 2. If either version resonates with you, let me know. I mean, I'm still probably going to drop both, but, you know, let me know what you think.
Mirrors crack, they never lie. A broken mask beneath my eye. This form is cursed, a poison shell. A hollow space where light once fell. The enemy lives in my own skin. I let the fracture burrow in. Voices clash in my mind's decay. Tearing sanity day by day. I can't discern the real from fake. A screaming ghost in my way. Scar of the vein. Born of the world. Track to the light. Forever doomed. Scar of the vein. My soul's demise. Bleeding out through empty eyes. Wring the neck of who I was. Forfeit hope without a cause. I am the arson, I am the fire. Fueling my own funeral pyre. A monument built on rotten rust. Betrayer's trust turned to dust. Voices clash in my mind's decay. Tearing sanity day by day. I can't discern the real from fake. A screaming ghost in my way. Scar of a knife. Born of the wound. Track to the light. Forever doomed. Scar of a knife. My soul's demise. Bleeding out through empty eyes. The grave I dig is my only birth. Rage, pain, suffer, break. The ghost inside I cannot
Ah, told you guys it was heavy. But yeah, that was the second version of Scarred Effigy. The first version was more vocal, the second version's more technical. I'm gonna release both, like I said, but if any of you have a preference, you can let me know. But I think John and Baron and Cardavel will probably like this stuff, because this stuff is the heavy shit. Alright? I mean, John already knew about it when I was writing it, but yeah. Oh, don't worry, Baron. There's a lot more. I made 5 tracks today, all very, very heavy. Let's just say I wasn't having a good day. So, yeah, I got some more. I got some more of the heavy stuff. I normally don't write stuff that is, well, when I'm writing metal, I don't write stuff that actually has a lot of meaning to me. I mostly write, as I mentioned, what I think people want to hear. Because I prefer that. You know, I don't really do my own stuff. But today, I was like, you know what? I think I need to put it metaphorically into paper. So, remember I told y'all about the band Shark Attack that did Consumed by Shadows? I used them as the baseline, and I made a whole bunch of pretty darn heavy songs. Like I said, there's more, and the musical arrangements are a little bit psycho, but, you know, let's just say it needed expression. And I'd rather express than impress, right? So that's what I did with this one. And the results were, like, to me at least, pretty interesting. So I enjoyed it. But yeah, that was Scarred Effigy. There's still Woven in the Lies, Echoes of the Undeserving, and The Weight of Fracture. Echoes of the Undeserving and Scarred Effigy are the heaviest. The other two are a little bit lighter, but still pretty heavy. Here. Like I said, I'll sample the rest for you as well. This one doesn't have 2 versions. This one just has the 1 version, but this is Woven in the Lies. If you like heavy and dark, then this is right up your alley.
Now I let the rage begin. A perfect puppet for your dark design. You drew the border and called the line mine. The fear you planted grew into a tree, and every broken branch belongs to me. You handed me the poison, called it grace. A mirror shattering in my own face. This skin is tainted by the truth you sold. A story twisted, black and cold. Woven in the lies, the knot in my
They're correct about that, Lee. But yeah, it only reduces the special gauge as far as I can tell. I'll need to craft more swords, Leaf, but I'll be able to tell you after. So far, it only reduces special gauge. That's correct. Anyway, that was Woven in the Lies. So, as you can see, I haven't normally used these types of very heavy arrangements before. But today, these songs needed it, so... Those of you who enjoy the heavy stuff will definitely enjoy my latest material. Lots of frustration to work out. But also, the lyrics are all, as always, personally written, but this one is more me. Nah, I'm not going insane from sword farming. I don't care about sword farming. Sword farming is easy. Like, I'm not even worried about doing the content because I've got plenty of other content I can do, so I'm just relaxing. About 3-4 hours per day. I have other issues. TFD is the least of my issues. But I also wouldn't be a content creator if I didn't test everything myself. So, do forgive me, but I'm not going to believe anything I hear about swords until I test them myself, and I hope you understand that. So no matter what you guys tell me, alright, with all politeness in my heart when I say this, zip it, shut your mouths, and let me do my job. It's okay, but either way, I also don't want anyone to influence anybody else's opinion. Let's wait until I do my testing, and then we can have the discussions afterwards. So please abide by this rule. I know it will take some time, but I hope that everybody can obey this rule because at the end of the day, I am the content creator and I'm supposed to make my judgment, not allow anyone else to make their judgment, except if they want to be content creators themselves. Yeah? In which case, they can do it on their own channel. Again, I say it with all due respect, but I'm supposed to make the judgment, so please do wait. Yes. When I have a testing stream that shows everything, then we can discuss it. Until then, do not. Okay? Now then, like I said, I've got more material, so I hope you're ready, Baron, because there's still 2 more songs that are gonna get real heavy. Alright? So those of you who enjoy, get ready for another. Next, we will have Echoes of the Undeserving. Y'all ready? Have some more of my insanity. All good, Selena.
The story retold, a lesson unsold. The silence stretches vast and deep. A solemn promise I cannot keep. I breathe the quiet. The fear is my air. Alone in the echo beyond repair. I let the current pull me down. No crown to wear, just dirt to drown. I saw the light. I touched the sun. But the path of ruin is the only one I run. The cage is wide. I walk back. touch the sun, but the path of ruin is the only one I run. The cage is wide, I walk back in. I chose the trauma, I chose the sin. Chains around my weary bones, I drown the noise in endless tone. Let the isolation be the cure.
There we go. And that was Echoes of the Undeserving. It needs a little bit of editing at the end, but yeah. There you go. There's another heavy track. For a lot of these, I use, yeah, more jarring arrangements is the best way to put it. Because I normally don't write stuff that's this heavy, but I was like, you know what? Get it. Let's do it. Get the demons out. So they have their own little, so Shark Attack now has its own little mini EP, which is this stuff. They might do that, but it'll depend on how many people want to buy. I don't think a lot of people will buy. Mickey, please wait for tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video will cover everything you need to know about this. It's the exact same relic that we had for Wall Crasher, just a slight change in the mods, dude. So if you really want it now, you can go check my Wall Crasher video from the start of Season 3. The rolls on the restored relic are exactly the same and they don't change. I don't show on stream because there's a lot of people that will just copy half-ass shit, then come around and say, I got a robot build and it doesn't work. So if you want it early, you can check the previous video. Otherwise, just wait for tomorrow's video and I'll go through Gley and everything you need to do this. To be honest though, even back then, right, I showed the rolls on my restored relic and everyone's still like, oh, my restored relic can't fire fast. Like, crap. Another nanotube instead of the blueprint. I'm gonna end up with like so much shadow stuff. Okay. Ah, this research is ready. We can build another shadow. Let's go. Mitoid shadow. And then I'll play the last track, which is the Weight of Fracture. Well, I'll probably tell you, Baron. Echoes of the Undeserving is probably the roughest of them all. That is the one that has the most jarring, I guess, style or arrangement. The others are heavy, but that one had to be the most brutal one.
Oh, the special human child. What do you need?
Okay, now let's go make a Deus Ex. And one more. Perfect, and then I can make this. Okay, so my shadow will be up to 2, 1. Okay. Shove another catalyst inside here. Shove another catalyst inside here as well. There we go. I should level up the chill enhancement. 1 second.
Modules will make you stronger.
Okay, weapons, Deus Ex. That works. Okay. I'm just putting these in the secondary slot so that I've got something to use. Like they can level up while I blow up stuff with Gley. Alright then. Now, one last for the heavy crowd. I'll play the Weight of Fracture. Then we'll go polish off these enemies, eh? Here we go.
I stand at the bottom of the pit I dug. The air is stagnant, the world feels unplugged. The fracture is visible, a scar in the core. A part of my spirit that bleeds evermore. No self-forgiveness, no turning a page. Just the brutal promise of a lifetime's rage. I carry the pieces and they cut my hands, but this weight is mine. No one understands. To fight the current is to choose the wound. To reject the solace of being consumed. I will not crumble to the floor. I will not beg for breath anymore. The weight of the fracture is my purpose now. A burden of truth, a permanent vow. I will build from the splinters of what used to be. I drag my wreckage towards liberty. Every sunrise is a battle I've drawn. A ghost in the mirror from dusk until dawn. The whispers are loud, demanding relives. A perfect loop of familiar traps. I choke on the ashes of every failure past. But the strength to endure is built to last. This is not healing, this is war. I fight the shadow I cannot ignore. To fight the current is to choose the wound. To reject the solace of being consumed. I will not crumble to the floor. I will not beg for breath anymore. The weight of the fracture is my purpose now. A burden of truth, a permanent vow. I will build from the splinters of what used to be. I drag my wreckage toward liberty. Sacrifice the part of me that died. This fracture is the only thing that proves I survive.
Alright, that's the last one. Now the last one has more clean singing because it's supposed to round out the EP. And that one, along with one of the other ones, is two of the so-called less heavy tracks. So basically I've got two really heavy, two less heavy, and one was the opening, which many of you have already heard before, which is Consumed by Shadows. So yeah, that's what I was working on today. Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed the free taste of some of my personal work. I'll probably release them all soon though, because I was working on some other stuff today and I was getting very, very frustrated because of some personal issues. So I was like, you know what? I gotta do this. And so I wrote all of them in one day. You can do that if you want, Leaf. For me, I already leveled up arcade tuning mostly before even getting in here. Makes sense to me to do that. Now, how much longer to wall crasher? A little bit longer. Well, greetings, Ruby. Haven't seen you in a while. You doing all right? You are up very late. I technically do, Austin. I do have, I do still have Eugen to do, I suppose. Because I've never played support in this game, and never plan to. So Eugen is probably the only one that has not received arcade tuning. I think I've done everybody else.
Feel the hands of death.
Yeah, even Ajax has been done. I know Ezimo's been done. Kyle was done a long time ago, so it has to be only Eugen, yeah. You woke up early. I suppose, yeah, fair enough. So you woke up early rather than sleeping late. Fair enough. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I've yet to try Kyle, but I really should, Austin. I really should. Anyway, I'll check your reply after stream, Rubalicious. No worries. Glad to see you're alive and well, though. How can you miss out on Jaber? How can you miss out on Jaber, bro? He's Jaber the Slaver, man. You cannot be missing out on Jaber. Not Jaber. Fair enough. But I can understand. Sometimes it just be like it is. I actually can't remember how fast we went with Jaber on this one. Well, I hope you enjoy Gley. If you decide to play her, I'll drop her build tomorrow after all. No problem. I'm here to actively help the community as always. That is what I will do. Because never forget, I am here for all of you. You guys are literally the only reason I remain here, so as long as you guys keep supporting me, I'll always be here to support you guys as well. Now, I need a Sanctium. Okay, let's target the Sanctium. It's 2 minutes till Wall Crasher, so let's go to Wall Crasher first. Hey, Adam. I was gonna check and make sure I didn't miss anything at low Void Vessel quest. Yeah, damn right it's completed.
You wanted to see me?
Okay, good. I bought everything already. Now I'm doing alright, can't complain. I should do the daily, shouldn't I? I wasn't thinking about it, but I'm like, I should do the daily. Okay, let's swap over. Go to K-pop Demon Hunter. Manage vehicle. This. Swap to my Colossus core. Wall Crasher build. Okie dokie do. Back in we go. Okay, let's go. Perfect rolls are difficult to get. Don't sweat it too much.
Are you ready?
I made it this morning. When I was playing Mega Bonk. Did you not hear it? But yeah. I can make drum and bass. I just never had any inclination to. But the sword form was so boring that the other day, this was the other day, not yesterday, but it was the other day, I experimented making some drum and bass tracks. So yeah, I've only got a few, but they're alright. They're alright, donuts. If you want to hear them, I'll play them while I do the Sigma sector. Well, I only made them like I'm talking Sunday afternoonish. I just plugged a few arrangements and tried some stuff. I've never made them before, so. But hey, if you like drum and bass and you're saying that they're good, then well, okay. So you are the person that likes drum and bass. In that case, you can tell me what you think. This one is called Break the Chain. It's very simple, but it works well. Luna's fun, but she does require some practice. Thanks, Ruby. I'm actually using this as a base for something else, so well, you guys will see it eventually, but yeah. This is actually a stepping stone to a larger project. It probably does add to your DPS. Sorry, for the Serena thing, I cannot answer. I haven't played Serena yet. But they have not made any changes that I'm aware of. Maybe I'll test it out when I play Serena soon. I don't think they have, but you can definitely check it out. It's weaker this season because of the seasonal perk getting removed. That's all. Yeah, thanks. I made it myself.
Operation completed. Awaiting transfer to transport.
Thanks, Baron. Appreciate that. Let me know what you want after I'm done. But yeah, that was Break the Chain. I also made a couple other tracks like Infernal Machinery, Basequake Dimension. I just messed around with a couple of these tracks because these are actually like bass arrangement samples, mostly instrumentals, that I'm using to create another project, which is called Neurothrope for now. It's not actually Neurofunk or anything neuro related. I just called it Neurothrope based on the Warhammer 40k Tyrannid unit Neurothrope, which I hate. All right. So I'm creating a separate side project for that. It's just something I was messing around with, just mostly to see if I could, but glad to know that the samples themselves are decent enough. I'll play a couple more, like I said, since some of you are D&B enjoyers. Oh, the new build, I just was lazy to post it because I'm working on Gley first, but I will drop it after, yeah. I'm just prioritizing Gley because she's much faster to farm the Void Vessel with, and of course Serena will be even faster than that, but while I'm working on Serena, I can at least drop Jaber. Luna seems the most natural for cheerleader outfit. Haven't tried, but I can try. Okay, have this.
This is HQ. Troops are on the ground. Transport.
That's okay, Baron.
Standby position. That's the flight center.
I'm the dance.
Large-scale focus transfer confirmed. Descendant, stop the enemy troop deployment.
Yeah? You might want to rewatch the stream, Tyrell, and see how fast she is. I got you. Echoes of the undeserving. No problem. I'll type it for you. Long after I'm done blasting laser lights at these guys. Infernal Machinery 1, I'll play it for y'all later, but I'll finish off with the base Quake Dimension, just because it's hilarious. But glad to see that my music is somewhat interesting. Anyway, for those that wanted to see Gley, yeah, she's pretty good for the Void Vessel. I'll just swap over to her now. She looks like a haunted vampire cheerleader, but let's go. But yeah, I wasn't planning on showcasing most of this, except that this morning I just played a little bit because of Mega Bonk, but glad to know that some of you guys like this other type of music. But the final project is not this. These are just some instrumental samples that I made and created to understand arrangements and things like that. Glad to know that my arrangements are at least decent to your ears. That means I didn't fuck up too badly. But the actual final project, I'll show you guys when it's done. Anyway, here's the base Quake Dimension. that one was the base quake dimension. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Here's Infernal Machinery 1 to finish out before I play Baron's song.
I will end.
Glad to hear it, Ruby. This is a cool gun, Baron. Oops, sorry. And there you go. That's Infernal Machinery 1. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing with this type of music, but hey, if it works for you guys, I might make some more in future. Like I said, I slapped random bullshit together because I was actually just making samples for a different project that I had. But hey, if it works for you guys, well, let me know. I can always make more. It's actually not difficult to craft, surprisingly. Well, now Austin can like something other than low vibes. Hey, if it works for you guys, then it works for you guys, right? Okay, Echoes of the Undeserving. Here you go. Most people use Gley Raw. But anyway, enjoy the heavy vibes. Thanks, Tyrell. Now this is what Baron wants. Let's get heavy. Those of you that don't like the heavy, well, too bad. Suffer.
The walls dissolve. I welcome the call. The story retold. The lesson unsolved. The silence stretches vast and deep. A solemn promise I cannot keep. I breathe the quiet. The fear is my air. Alone in the echo beyond repair. I let the current pull me down. No crown to wear. Just dirt to drown. I saw the light. I touched the sun, but the path of ruin is the only one I run. The cage is wide. I walk back in. I chose the trauma. I chose the sin. Echoes of the undeserving. A broken path I keep conserving. I am the failure. I am the stain. Worthy only of this crushing pain. Echoes of the undeserving. The darkness is forever serving. No hand to reach, no voice to hear. Only the sound of my passing fear. I cut the lines, I sink the ships. My words are poison on these dead lips. The memory of war is a wicked lie. I close my eyes just to watch it die. I stand on the edge of all I lost. Accepting the toll, accepting the cost. I saw the light. I touched the sun, but the path of ruin is the only one I run. The cage is wide. I walk back in. I chose the trauma. I chose the sin. Chains around my weary bones. I drown the noise in endless tone. Let the isolation be the cure. Let the isolation be the cure.
This particular track was done in that exact manner. It's supposed to be. You remember Lavender Town in Pokemon, the first Pokemon? You know, it had that weird high-pitched sound that just the Pokemon developers themselves, they named the track Hidoi, which is terrible. Same concept I used here because this is the heaviest track in the whole EP. So I wanted something that would literally embody the concept of Hidoi. But obviously it's gonna sound good because when you arrange it just right. But yeah, this is the only track that has that just messed up guitar and everything. So I was like, you know what, I'm throwing it in. This is what this song needs. Now there's another version of this song that came out. I'm keeping it as like a B-side track, you know, because when you generate these tracks, obviously not every one of them will be perfect. I have to curate, arrange, all that kind of stuff. But there was one that came out that it wasn't like super horrendous, but it was different. So have a listen. This is just a little bonus for you guys. Totally different vibe and concept though, but same song.
Silence stretches vast and deep. A solemn promise I cannot keep. I breathe the quiet, the fear is my air. Alone in the echo, beyond
enough, it's the same lyrics.
But the path of ruin is the only one I run. The cage is wide. I walk back in. I choose the trauma. I chose the sin. Gods of the undeserving. A broken path I keep conserving. I am the failure. I am the stain. Worthy only of this crushing pain. Gods of the undeserving. The darkness is forever serving. No hand to reach, no voice to hear.
I'll pause it there, but this one is like gonna be released as a bonus B-side track. It didn't fit the vibe of what I wanted. Like, I'm glad you like it, but the original one with the messed up guitar and everything, that one was the real vibe for Echoes of the Undeserved, because the original concept of the song is the person's downward spiral as they sort of like burn themselves, essentially, well, figuratively speaking. So that's why the first one is like literally just messed up guitars and everything, which is why I think Baron liked it. But this other one is like more slow, emotional. I'm still gonna release it as a B-side track because it was too good to get rid of, but it wasn't the right concept for the song itself, because this one, yeah, this one is like this EP was literally just done in one afternoon, and it's all written about. It was mostly written so I could get some negative feelings out. But that's why the lyrics here that you'll see are, well, when you eventually hear the actual songs on SoundCloud and whatever, and you get to hear the lyrics properly, these songs are all quite dark overall, lyrically speaking. So yeah, because I normally don't write from my personal perspective, but I felt that I wanted to do it this time around because I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I've got some frustrations to work out. So the whole thing is 5 songs in total, starting with Consumed by Shadows, Scarred Effigy, then you've got Woven in Lies, Echoes of the Undeserving, The Weight of the Fracture. Woven in the Lies, Weight of the Fracture will be the sort of like cleaner tracks with more clean singing, whereas Scarred Effigy, Echoes of the Undeserving are the heavy, you know, messed up tracks where it's just pure heavy screams. So that was fun stuff. Like I said, Scarred Effigy also has 2 versions. I will release both, but the final album that I want to put out, like the final EP that I'll put out on Spotify and whatnot, I'll let y'all decide which version of Scarred Effigy should be the one to go in, because there's an A and a B, so that one you'll have to pick. But for this one, although there's an A and a B, there's only one that's going in, and that's the one with the, yeah, like you said, the first one sounded more refined, because when I heard it, I was like, this is the sound that I want from my song, because I wanted something that would sound jarring. It needed to be jarring, because like I said, Echoes of the Undeserving is the heaviest song in the whole set. It is literally about those types of emotions eating the person up inside. So it had to be done that way. Anyway, glad y'all like my crazy ass music. As for the drum and bass, I'll see what I can do, because like I said, I'm gonna work on my side project first. Y'all tell me if you like it, you know. If it is, good. If not, good. I'm Chili Manjaro about that. Lavish lantern set. You know, I'm gonna buy one of these.
Thank you for all the hard work you put in today.
Yeah, you better thank me for all the hard work I put in today. I expect a good thank you. Now let's see. New ornaments. Let's put in the lavish lamp set. Oh my god, lavish lamp set, but so tiny. Whatever.
You've had a hard day. Please rest now.
Sure, I will. Off you go. I will go rest right now. I swear, guys, I'm just doing this for the voice lines, okay? Just to see what she says. Yeah, fair enough, Baron.
HQ could really do with a shower too.
Wait a second. The command center in the HQ does not have a
All the
shower?
hard work you put in today.
Wow, so they... I guess Enzo and Nell just literally walk around smelly 24/7. That animation will never stop making me laugh when they play with the water. Okay, I'm good. Let's get out of here. That's literally all I came to see. Just because it was funny. I only have 500. Boo. Boo, I say. Boo. Oh god, there's actually somebody who named their character Daddy Chill. Jesus Christ. Ah, humans. Such humanity disappoints me greatly.
Magisters are probably humanity's real hope, don't you think?
Welcome. You're here for modules, right?
Yes, I'm here for modules. Fuse them all. Give me what I don't have. Better weapon weight. Oh. No, I know it's not the worst one. I know there's way worse, but still. The fact that these humming beans exist is yeah. We might need to unexist the beans that hum, you know? That's the way I see it. We must slowly, painfully adjust these beans that hum. You know, just for fun, just because I'm so bored, I'm just gonna take my new bunny. I'm just gonna run around the 400% for modules. Let's do it. Let's go. It's time to go get some modules. Ew, the chapel. What do we have here? Ew. Oh, unknown laboratory's not that bad. Okay, cool. Let's go. Here, y'all can have all my failed drum and bass tracks while I do this. Enjoy. forgot to clean up the inventory after all these times. Oops. My bad. I really should have. Shouldn't I? That's okay. We'll go get shit done. Okay, now we should be able to run smoothly. I have no idea who that is, but I'll take it as a compliment. Especially since I have no idea how to actually make drum and bass. So if I can sound like anybody, that's a good thing. At least it's not just totally messed up, right? Hey, so long as it works. Sure. Better, you say? Well, that's a high compliment, thank you. I will try my best. After I'm done here tonight, I'm definitely working on music. I'm just in that vibe, you know? I might actually work on finishing my side project. Just see what y'all think, you know, when it's done. Yes, like I said, it means I'm doing a decent job, Baron. Best part about songs like this, random lines I say can go with the beat. Best part about songs like this, random lines I say can go with the beat. Back when MTV still played music videos.
So slow.
That is a tall ancient order. You are hearing the sounds, the lost sound of a tall ancient order. I guess we're all old cats here then. Might even be old enough to be Thundercats. Terrible lame jokes. I'll pause there. I'm just gonna see if how much I actually got in terms of modules. Hello, Jerome. About to end my stream. Just gonna go check a couple things. Then after I'm done checking my things, I will vamoosh. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Okay, I just want to see how many modules I managed to scoop up.
If all
Speed running
modules
that.
were the same, I'd be out of a job, right?
Only because I want to combine until I get what I need. Okay, about 8 combinations for very little work. I can live with that, actually. Here we got 12 combinations. Sick. Don't think I've finished getting anything new, but all I need to do is just roll through. Yeah, no, I'm surprised that so many of you guys like my stuff. Like I said, these are actually just samples. They're not real songs, but I mean, hey, if the samples are good enough, then I'm satisfied with that. I don't actually know, Leaf, which side drops more modules. I'll have to compare. Maybe I'll take a break from farming the swords next round and just compare which one will get me the more modules. Because honest to God, getting the modules through the farming of the swords in the Void Vessel is horrendous. So I'm definitely planning on testing out. I could check between Sigma Sector how many runs I can do. I could give myself a roughly 30-minute timer and start spinning around and see which one yielded more. I don't really care about the amorphous. I still have plenty that I can open anytime. Also, just in case anyone didn't know, right? I only spotted it with this update. Maybe it's to sell more skins, but did you know that they changed the jiggle physics? Now the wibble wobble is, how should I say? It's more water-like. Okay, so I was actually planning on checking this today. Let me see how it feels on medium, because last time strong was pretty strong, but you know, I want to see what'll happen. Yeah, strong is still super wibble wobble, but all right, fair enough. Medium is a bit too conservative, but strong is a bit too unnatural. Well, whatever. Let's have it strong just so I can embarrass people. Now, Ronnie says, speaking of Thundercats, your older sister named one of your nieces after Chitara. Wait, what? No, no way. No way. Her name is Chitara. How did they get the spelling wrong? And instead of being called Chitara, she ended up with an S. S-H-E-E-T-A-R-A. Did she get it legally changed? Because that is... No. That is terrible. She really got named Chitara by the hospital. Chitara. No. Y'all gotta sue that hospital for that. It's Chitara. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's terrible. Give them 300 slaps for this, alright? This will be their penalty. But alright. Glad to know that you guys are enjoying some of my muzak, and I hope you guys will look forward to my next project. Okay, I shall head off now, ladies and gents. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys in the morning. Not for this. I'll probably play this in the evening. Tomorrow morning, I've got some horror game-ish thing called Chronos New Dawn. I've never heard of it, but they sent me a key. They said play, and then after that, we'll be Dying Light the Beast. So look forward to that. All right, let's see how that goes, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. All right, peace and love. I'll catch you on the next one. Don't do anything weird while I'm gone, okay?